Today, we're giving you an honest review of Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. No fluff, just real talk. We're going to break down the food, the entertainment, activities, rooms, and what the overall vibe is that you can expect. This way, it can help you decide if Royal Caribbean is the right cruise line for you. So let's get started. Let's kick things off with one of the most important parts of any cruise. Of course, I'm talking about the food. Now, Royal Caribbean offers a solid variety of dining options, both complimentary and specialty. Now, here's what stood out to me. The buffet had great selections from your classic American comfort food, like burgers, hot dogs, and they even had some international dishes. Now, the salad bar, it was large and very consistent, even on the smaller ships. Desserts were plentiful, which is, of course, always a win. Their specialty restaurants offered top-notch dining, but of course, they do come with an extra cost. You even had Sorrento's pizza, which is included, and honestly, I think it's one of the best pizzas at sea. The main dining room has been consistently good for us. I know that some people complain about the quality, but we've sailed a lot on Royal Caribbean ships, and so far it's been pretty solid every time. Of course, you got to remember too, the larger the ship, the more dining options that you're going to have. But even the smaller ships have a decent selection. Now, let's talk about the things that I didn't really care for. First off, there just wasn't enough food options by the pool. Most of their ships only have like one option near the pool, and it can get pretty backed up, especially around lunchtime. Compared to some of the other cruise lines, Royal really doesn't have that many included food options. Some of the smaller ships even have more specialty restaurants, they're paid ones, than they do included restaurants, which to me kind of feels a little off. Now, I know this isn't really food, but it kind of goes along with that. And that's the drink package or the drink refills. So if you get like the soda package, you might find that the freestyle machines can be a little lacking when you go to look for a refill. Now, not to mention if you do find one, there's probably going to be a long line. I would say the Royal Caribbean definitely needs more freestyle machines around the ship to help alleviate some of this congestion. Overall, you'll find plenty to eat, and the quality of the food is good, but if you're looking for a huge variety of included dining, Royal Caribbean isn't the best in that category. Next up, let's talk about the entertainment. Entertainment really is where Royal Caribbean shines. From Broadway-style shows to ice skating performances, they bring some of the best entertainment at sea. The tech in their shows is so impressive. Drones, lasers, high diving acts, and their aqua theater, it's all next level. Speaking of their aqua theater, this is on their Oasis and Icon class ships. This thing is insane. They feature like high diving, tightrope acts, and even great choreography. And I'm not talking about just high diving from a little ways up. These guys are way up there. And I don't know how they do it. I'm not big on heights, so more power to them. But it's fun to watch. Even if you don't have an aqua theater and you're on one of the smaller ships, there's always something happening. So you're not going to run out of things to watch or do. Now, for the downsides. Now, reservations are required for the biggest shows or the most popular shows, especially on their Oasis and their Quantum class ships. These do fill up fast, and it makes it hard to get into some of these most popular shows. Even if reservations aren't required, venues like the Aqua Theater, ice skating rink, and their main theater do get packed. If you don't show up early, you may end up with a bad seat or no seat at all. Another thing I didn't really like, and if you cruise with Royal Caribbean, you've probably noticed that the entertainment doesn't change a whole lot. You may end up seeing some of the same Broadway shows, comedians, and ice skating performances over and over, especially if you cruise close together. Overall, the entertainment is a major win for Royal Caribbean, but if you don't plan ahead, you might miss out on some of the best shows. So moving on, let's take a look at the activities. If you like things to do, well, Royal Caribbean is going to deliver for you. From rock climbing walls, surf simulators like their Flow Rider, skydiving simulators, which is like their iFly, zip lines, water slides, and so much more. There's something here for everyone. And of course, the larger the ship, the more activities there are, so if you want the most options, look at their Oasis class or even the Icon class ships. Now, pools and hot tubs and splash areas are spread out throughout the ship, giving both adults and kids places to go enjoy the water. So if you're looking for something to do, whether pools, water slides, some of their extra activities, they are loaded with this type of stuff. You're not going to be disappointed. What about the things that I didn't like when it came to their activities? Well, the lines for popular activities can be pretty long, especially on sea days. You might end up spending more time waiting in line than actually doing the activity itself. While many activities are included, some of the coolest ones, like their laser tag, the escape room, specialty fitness classes, they all cost extra. We definitely started feeling a little nickel and dimed at times. For the pools, they can be a little small for the number of guests on board, especially when you're on their larger ships. And hot tubs, they get overcrowded pretty fast since they're not that large themselves. When it comes to trivia, like karaoke and game shows, they fill up fast too. There's just not a lot of room in some of these venues like the Schooner's Bar or the music halls. There's just not enough seating to fit everybody. So, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the entertainment, if you want to do this and you show up late, you're probably not going to get a good seat. Overall, there are a ton of things to do, but be prepared for the crowds and even some unexpected extra charges. Okay, so what about the rooms? We all need a nice, comfortable place to stay, but how is the staterooms on Royal Caribbean? Well, they're pretty comfortable and well maintained, and they do tend to be a little bit larger than average compared to some of the other cruise lines that we've been on. If you like a little extra space, well, you'll probably appreciate Royal Caribbean's rooms, especially in their higher tier categories like suites. Now, their newer ships have a modern, stylish design that feels a little more upscale. There's plenty of storage space, even in their standard rooms. They did go a little above and beyond when it comes to providing space to put your stuff. So you're not going to be living out of a suitcase during your cruise. As for the beds, to me, I thought they were pretty comfortable. I know that mattress preference is a little subjective, but for me, I found the beds overall pretty comfortable. For Royal Caribbean's newer ships, they're also pretty tech-friendly, from smart TVs, USB charging ports, and a lot of other modern touches. So what about the things that I didn't like? Noise can be an issue, especially if you're near elevators, mechanical areas, or even some of the inside balcony rooms or inside staterooms that may overlook like the promenade area, the main thoroughfare, as well as Central Park or the boardwalk area. These, if they're doing their shows like around the boardwalk area at the Aqua Theater, if you're trying to get some rest, they can be a little noisy. If they're doing their shows on the promenade, a lot of times they have some music and DJs and stuff going on in there. If you're in one of the inside rooms that has a little window overlooking that area, it could get a little noisy. Also, these rooms with the balconies overlooking like the boardwalk area and the promenade can seem like they have a little lack of privacy. So make sure, because you have, room or windows looking at you from the other side as well, make sure you close your curtains. Little tip. So what about the bathrooms? Well, the bathrooms in the interior and ocean view staterooms are a little smaller than what you might find in, say, your balcony rooms or especially the suites. So if you like big bathrooms, well, you're going to be in for a shock. But overall, they do provide everything you need. Your towels, your washcloths, shampoo, conditioner, all that stuff will come with it. It's just not a lot of room to move around. So overall, the rooms are solid, and Royal Caribbean does do a pretty good job at maximizing the space that they give you, as little as it is in some areas. Just be mindful, though, of the location when you are booking your cruise. Know that if the room is really cheap, it's probably really cheap for a reason. It's probably where it's located. So overall, what was my opinion on Royal Caribbean? Well, they have high energy atmosphere. There's always something to do. It's great for families. They have a lot of kid-friendly activities and entertainment. They have a friendly crew. They're known for having some of the best service at sea. Now, a few things that might not be for everybody, they do have larger crowds because they are bigger ships, especially on sea days. During dining times, and shows can get packed as well. They do have a lot of loud music because they have venues all over with constant activities. So if you prefer a chill, relaxing cruise, Royal is pretty energetic and might be a little overwhelming. And remember, there's also lots of kids on Royal Caribbean. If you're looking for a quieter adults only vibe, this may not be the cruise for you unless you spend a lot of time in the solarium, which is the adults only area. Royal Caribbean offers a well rounded cruise experience with top tier entertainment, plenty of activities. While there are areas for improvement, the overall experience is fun, lively, and great for families or anyone who loves an action packed vacation. Are you planning a Royal Caribbean cruise? Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to the most. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more cruise reviews and travel tips. And always remember, it doesn't matter where you go, you should always wonder, explore, and discover.